From KGW, this is The Good Stuff.
But getting people here for the first time, they, one, not only have an incredible experience, but they have more of a sense of ownership.
Tonight on The Good Stuff, we're heading out for a relaxing paddle on the Tualatin River. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Tim Gordon. The Tualatin River Keepers has several Earth Day events coming up to help people learn to access and take care of the river. John Goodwin shows us, I should say, just how to get involved in this Let's Get Out There.
The Tualatin is such an accessible river. If you've never paddled before, this is really the perfect place to come.
The water. We recreate on it, we rely on it. If you paddle down the Tualatin River, Glenn Fee hopes you'll see it's worth protecting.
Getting out and experiencing it is so important. It really helps bring the blood pressure down. It helps you kind of be a better person and engage in other parts of your life.
Glenn is the executive director of Tualatin River Keepers. The community-led organization protects and restores this entire watershed.
We have volunteers that come out and do restoration work with us throughout the year. And that's a really great way to understand a little bit about water quality and why it's important for us to keep clean water in our watershed.
Tualatin River Keepers is hosting over a dozen events next week to celebrate Earth Day. Restoration projects, educational programs, an annual boat show and yard sale, even paddle events.
We sometimes take it for granted for being out here on the river almost every day ourselves. But getting people here for the first time, they, one, not only have an incredible experience, but they have more of a sense of ownership.
Earth Day is also the kickoff to their rental season. At Rude Bridge Park in Hillsboro and Cook Park in Tigard, they'll have everything you need to get started on the river.
We provide the boats, we provide the PFDs, the life jackets, we provide the paddles, we provide all the information to get people comfortable and out on a great experience.
Though the recreation and advocacy is on the surface, a lot happens behind the scenes as well.
We work with elected officials, we work with county officials, we work with community members to make sure that some of the development that's going on in our watershed is done really in concert with protecting clean water.
Since last year, Glenn has noticed a lot more people recreating here. He hopes we enjoy this resource and learn to preserve it too. If you want to volunteer or learn more about the watershed, you can find information at tualatinriverkeepers.org.
But what we want is for people to understand that this is a resource, and this resource is so critical for us in our region and for us to protect for the next generation.
In Tigard, I'm John Goodwin. Let's get out there.
And remember, we want to know your favorite outdoor spots and see your pictures too. Share them by texting us at 503-226-5088. When you think about animals in the Pacific Ocean, whales, salmon, and sea lions might come to mind, but I bet you've never heard of a monkey-faced prickleback, which is real. Yes, it's real. And a Tillamook woman caught a big one earlier this month, and potentially world record big. Rebecca Jones went rock fishing back on April 1st. It was one of her first times out, even going out after her brother kind of showed her the ropes there. But she says she wanted to catch dinner, and boy, did she ever.
I pulled up this huge, ugly, what I thought was an eel. And I remember just like, it just kept coming out of the water. It was so long. And I was looking at it just so confused. And it was really docile. So just sitting there, long enough for me to even pull out my phone, take a picture, text that to a friend. And I said, what is this? What have I found here? What did I catch? And they told me what it was. And of course, April Fool's Day. I thought it was a joke. Monkey-faced prickleback. Like, are you kidding me? Did you just make that up?
Oh yeah, she's up on the ODFW website for this. It's true, a monkey-faced prickleback. Now, they're often called monkey-faced eels for kind of obvious reasons there. But at 28 inches long and 4.8 pounds, Jones realized it was a very special catch. And these fish can live outside of water for up to 37 hours, which is kind of crazy. They live along California and mostly the southern Oregon rocky shores. They could live up to 18 years, and she found one out there in the Pacific. Well, taking you from the great outdoors to the great expanse of space. An astronaut born and raised in Camas is spending 6 months aboard the International Space Station. He recently spoke with our Devin Haskins about his current mission. Take a look.
It orbits the Earth at more than 17,000 miles an hour, making the International Space Station a science laboratory like no other.
being a science weenie, I'm kind of a kid in a candy store up here doing every kind of science experiment you could possibly imagine.
That's Dr. Michael Barrett, one of 7 crew members currently living on the ISS.
Ignition, engines full power, and liftoff.
In early March, Barrett was part of Expedition 70. He'll spend 6 months studying everything from physics and biology to the effects of space on the human body.
Yeah, I would have to say that every system in the body changes when it gets into zero gravity, and mostly it's the body adapting to kind of get to a place where it wants to be when there's no gravity. And so that includes losing maybe 15% of your blood volume and your red blood cells, and your heart changes shape, changes position.
This is not Barrett's first time in space. He has been to the ISS 2 other times, first in 2009 and then again in 2011.
The station is still this wonderful old station that I remember. It's big, it's capable, it's very international.
Dr. Barrett grew up in Camas, graduating high school there. He says his love of astronomy started young. He built telescopes and just loved the dark skies.
I kind of grew up as an OMSI kid, and I was able to explore some of those areas as a kid, actually, doing some of the camps and doing some of the activities at OMSI. So that actually had a lot to do with kind of nurturing those broad interests.
I was at a 5th grade classroom yesterday and said, hey, I'm going to talk to an astronaut aboard the space station. Is there a question that you would ask him? The first one, what's it like in space?
There's maybe a couple of things that really make space amazing. One is zero gravity. So, I mean, this is zero gravity. It's something you have to get used to, but after a while, you love it. You become a 3-dimensional creature and you fly like Superman, and you can move heavy things, and it's just really awesome.
Another one is what is your favorite food to eat up there?
Some of the things I really like, the shrimp cocktail is great. Because we're an international station, we have food from everywhere. So some of the Russian foods I really like quite well.
One of the students giving a presentation saying he wanted to be an astronaut was saying how hard it is to get into the space program. So for you, do you remember that challenge of getting in, and how hard was it for you?
You know, I'm no genius. My high school counselor reminded me of that. He said, you're no genius, but hard work will make up for that, and curiosity. And he was absolutely right. So I wouldn't want any student to feel like you have to be an absolute Einstein to do this job.
He said the best way in is
find something that's useful to the space program, get passionate about it, because you can't be good at anything unless you really love it.
Advice from an astronaut orbiting the Earth more than 20 times faster than the speed of sound.
That is pretty cool. Well, for our next story, we're highlighting a nationally renowned student dance group from Portland getting ready to take the Newmark Theater stage. The Jefferson Dancers Spring Concerts take place tonight through Saturday. The program at Jefferson High School draws students from all over the world. A former French exchange student who came to study with the Jefferson Dancers choreographed this dance that you're seeing right now.
And for me, it was really precious, actually, and it still is, to go back, choreograph for the kids, because I remember when a choreographer was invited to choreograph for us. And, you come with your life experience as a dancer, and you just want to share everything.
Well, the dancers just got back from a trip to France last month. They've also performed on stages in China, England, and Germany. The goal is to give students an international experience to prepare them for the professional dance world. Okay, back to the shows that you can check out, and they're really great. They run tonight through Saturday, and you can see the full details on the screen there. Head to their website for more information. That's jeffersondancers.com. Well, the Jefferson Dancers are not the only dance group putting on a show this weekend. It's AWOL Dance Collective's youth spring performance called Reach for the Sky. This is a look as the students got in a last rehearsal this afternoon. Students will show off their aerial, acrobatic, dance, and circus skills. Look at them go. AWOL is a nonprofit Portland dance studio. There are shows Friday and Saturday night, and the matinees Saturday and Sunday at the AWOL warehouse in Northeast Portland. You can get tickets at awoldance.org. But coming up on The Good Stuff, a high school in Washington is taking a different approach to tackling student hunger. See the machine dispensing free meals for students in need. Welcome back. Well, one of the invisible issues that can be an obstacle to students' learning is hunger. But this vending machine inside an Arlington, Washington school will hopefully make a dent in the problem. Eric Wilkinson from our sister station in Seattle shows us how it's helping ensure students don't miss a meal.
At Arlington's Weston High School, you don't have to wait for the lunch bell to get a meal.
Ooh, looks like today we got turkey sandwich, nachos.
This vending machine provides free breakfast and lunch to students all day long. That means kids who wake up late, miss the bus, or have car problems don't have to worry about missing a meal. Students like Max Larson, who commutes to school from Stanwood.
I got here late and I wasn't feeling that well, but I was able to get some food here and that made me restart my day and put a happy face on.
74% of the students here qualify for free or reduced meals. Max says he has friends who sometimes don't get enough to eat at home, so missing a meal at school is a big deal. Max thinks the ability to access free food at any point in the day is a game changer.
At school, your job is to learn, and when you're hungry, it's harder to do that. So I feel like this helps kids get back on track with their day, especially if they arrive late.
Attendance is an issue here at Weston, and the hope is that by offering free meals throughout the day, it'll help change that.
Getting up in the morning is a challenge.
Principal Andrea Dixon Hundredmark says Weston's four-year graduation rate is only 59%. She believes part of that is due to food insecurity. Snohomish County food banks are operating at record levels. Federal statistics show more than 9% of children in Snohomish County don't get enough to eat. That's more than 17,000 hungry kids.
Our kiddos are experiencing a lot of stress and anxiety. Food insecurity is a real issue.
Dixon Hundredmark hopes the lure of free meals will help more students leave with diplomas.
What we're really hoping is that by them having access to food, not one meal but two, regardless of when they arrive, we'll see more of them. We are meeting kids where they are, and for some kids we're meeting them hungry and late to school. And hey, no big deal, we're going to solve both of those right now.
A hall pass from hunger.
This machine here really helps them actually get stuff in their stomachs and have a good day because of it.
Yep, makes a better day for sure. Well, a man diagnosed with epilepsy, standard medications weren't the answer. After the break, see the specialized device that helped stop his seizures and more. But first, let's take a look outside. This is the Timberline Skycam up on Mount Hood. Obviously, that is pointing south, and that is a beautiful Mount Jefferson off in the distance there on a sunny Thursday evening. We'll be back. Welcome back to The Good Stuff. Doctors at OHSU say 1 in 26 people will develop epilepsy at some point in their life. But an implantable device is helping some conquer the daily challenges that come with it. China Green shows us how it works.
In 2006, Bill Pipple had his first seizure.
Woke up one morning in the hospital without a whole lot of memory of how I had gotten there.
Then there were more.
I had no control over when I might have a seizure.
About 3 a month.
Every seizure day is really 3 days at minimum in order to try and recover from that, either because I've thrown my body around and hurt myself in that regard, or just trying to get cognition back.
He was diagnosed with epilepsy, a brain condition that causes reoccurring seizures. And there are many different types of epilepsy. And for Bill, medication was not the answer.
Over the course of 6-7 years of treatment there, I got ran through double-digit numbers of anti-epileptic drugs with very minimal success on them.
During that time, he did his best.
I was more or less housebound.
To live a normal life. Even with several seizures a month, he pursued his dream of becoming a lawyer.
I had a whole lot of support from Katie here, my now wife, in able to get me to law school classes. So that at least got me out of the house and continuing to move forward with my education and life goals.
In 2016, Bill's doctor at OHSU told him about an implantable brain device designed to eliminate seizures before they start.
And then the little computer is able to record electrical activity and tell us if he's having seizures or not and which side they're coming from.
Dr. Lee at Ernst says in Bill's case, the device did even more, collecting data about what was going wrong.
These devices are thought of as a help rather than a cure, but this specific device, because it gives you all this information about what's happening in the brain, it was able to lead to a cure.
And then a year later, doctors were able to use that information to then remove the part of Bill's brain that was contributing to his seizures.
And after going through the second surgery, he essentially became seizure-free.
There's no other term for it aside from life-changing. Gone from being housebound to now I'm able to be a practicing personal injury attorney.
And while his diagnosis took him on a detour in pursuing his career, his journey landed him where he was meant to be. For KGW News, I'm China Green.
Well, Dr. Ernst says there are a lot of different kinds of surgical options for people with epilepsy. And once they get referred to a center like OHSU, the patient is evaluated to find the right one that works for them. And for more resources and more health stories, you can visit kgw.com/healthiertogether. Well, straight ahead, their engineering prowess made them the best of the best. And now they get to prove it on the world stage. The Northwest team headed to the Super Bowl of Robotics. But before we go away, here's a live look at our Chinook Winds sky camera. That is a beautiful look at the Pacific Ocean right down there. We'll be back. Welcome back to The Good Stuff. Several schools in Washington are creating rising engineering stars through robotics. And this year, a number of teams will be competing in an international competition. Drew Andre has more.
A year of designing, building, and perfecting a robot.
The never-ending curiosity and pursuit of more knowledge and technical skills as well is really captivating.
Dozens of students at Tahoma High School, known as Team 2046 Bare Metal, are one of 20 robotics teams from the Pacific Northwest competing on the world stage at the For Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology, known as FIRST, Championship in Houston. In all, 600 teams from both the U.S. and a number of other countries around the globe.
There's probably about 30,000, 20,000 people there every day, and it's just huge. It's just field after field of just robots and just impressive, amazing people.
These are our future engineers here in Washington.
I want to follow a STEAM career path. Maybe I've been more interested in like aerospace engineering.
Both boys and girls that have discovered their passion at a young age.
Talking with the fabrication group and the design group and being able to work out what the problems are and how to get that pass off correctly handled, it's a great experience.
The competition turns them into problem solvers and strong collaborators. The teams advancing to the championships, like Tahoma, have succeeded in other competitions, like districts, to get here, performing this week in what you could consider the Super Bowl of robotics. But more than anything, these sharp students say robotics is helping shape who they are as they become adults.
It's given me direction, and my work ethic is just, I am not the same person I was 3 years ago.
In Maple Valley, Drew Andre, King 5 News.
All right, well, congratulations to Tahoma High School and all the others heading to the Super Bowl of robotics. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight, and thank you for taking a little time out of your day for the good stuff. We're going to leave you now with a sunset over Portland from our Rose City Skycam, and hope you have a great evening.